Okay guys, here we are. Well, I had it all set for 10 ball Scottish doubles tonight in Virtual Pool 4, but alas, that was not to be, so I popped into Shooter's Pool and we are watching Wolfpack and Albinario, who are playing a race to 5, and it looks, I presume it's 9 ball, and I think this match might be over very quickly. We might not see much of it. I've told the guys that I'm streaming, so they're well aware. I've discovered a bug though, now that I've started streaming. The fact that I have the game running and my head at the top of the screen, I cannot see my mouse cursor in the game when I'm streaming, and the problem there is I can't rotate the table, so we're going to have to sit in this position. So that is a conflict between XSplit Gamecaster and Shooter's Pool. I don't know why that's came about. Anyway, Shooter's Pool, well, it is still under testing. They closed down the acceptances or the applications for beta testers a little while back. I haven't really been around Shooter's Pool. I've been busy working and things, so I don't really know what's happening, to be honest with you. Oh, that's a miss. A chance for Albinario to stay in the match. Well, Shooter's Pool has a multitude of tables if you want them, and lots of tables. I mean lots. There must be, I mean I haven't counted them all, but there's got to be 20 odd tables, varying sizes, 3 or 4 snooker tables, umpteen 9-ball tables, a whole pile of bar tables, Chinese 8-ball table, carom tables. I mean, not just one table. I mean, you can choose from 3 or 4 different types if you want them. Like I've mentioned before in Shooter's Pool videos, you can buy whatever you want. If you want one, you get default tables to play these games when you join Shooter's Pool. But if you want a nicer looking table, if you want a championship pool table, you can buy that one with the tighter pockets. This isn't the one. It's a black table, I believe, black trim. But this is definitely a 9-foot table. And well, this game has a lot of potential. It really does. It is very, very different from Virtual Pool 4 in terms of how the physics feel when you hit a ball. The aiming on it, that's the thing I don't like. When I play it, I play with restricted aim off, and the cue is still, your head is still too far above the cue for the aiming to suit me like Virtual Pool 4. Virtual Pool 4 is hard enough, but this game's even harder aiming when you can't get as low as you would like. But the guys that developed the game compromised. They actually introduced the unrestricted aim, but it's still too high for me, I'm afraid. So, Wolfpack at the table. Now this could be a chance to finish the match. Now I would love to look at the slight angle he's got in that 6-ball, whether he can I think he can just draw back to get to the 8. I think he can, or he can run through off the end rail and come up. Now he doesn't want to go too far. I think he's okay. He'll just tuck that in and roll the 9 down the table, I would think. Unless, I mean, if he's going to draw back, he's going to draw into the 9. Well, he took a risk there, not the shot to play. He should have just babied it in and rolled the 9 down the rail. So now he's got a thin cut down the rail. And this is a toughie. Got to get this clean to keep it hugging the rail. It's funny how the mouse isn't working in the game. It works in any other game that I stream, but it's suddenly not working in Shooter's Pool. Well, Wolfpack's taking his time to get lined up here, and that's a good shot. So Wolfpack wins the match by 5 racks to 3, and I don't know whether they're going to play another one. Well, I didn't want to play it. I was streaming it. Now let me just exit from that. Right, let me just check. Oh, it's working this time. Maybe it was a bug. Just make your apologies. Right, anyway. Yep, I definitely cannot rotate the table. That's a strange one. So I don't know how many matches I've played before this one, before I joined the last one, but this is another race to 5 and 9 ball. We're just going to have this TV camera. I can't do my annoying moves around the table. As I say, it's a conflict with the streaming software, clearly. But we're watching two, well, you would grade them as champion players. Professional standard in the game, if you actually want to believe you would have professional standard in a virtual game, but these guys know what they're doing, so you'd expect to see some good pool. Unfortunately, we didn't get the planned 10-ball Scottish doubles tonight. That died a death. Nobody signed up, so I thought I'll have a look in Shooter's Pool and see what's happening. it definitely cannot be far away from a public launch, but when the public launch goes ahead, there'll still be a lot of bug fixing to be done. So, Wolfpack's off and running again. First rack under his belt. And the balls certainly break a lot better in this game than in Virtual Pool 4. They definitely do. They break much better. Sometimes in Virtual Pool 4 the balls break really heavy and they sort of die, and the further to the left or the right of the kitchen line that you actually break, it sometimes seems to me that if you go further left or right when you break in Virtual Pool 4, it deadens the break sometimes. Well, more often than not that it does. But this game, it definitely does break nice. Oh, good evening. Well, we don't know when that's going to be launched. As I say, they're keeping that quiet. Wolfpack looking for the safety. Didn't quite get it, but the other thing he's done is he's tied up the 9, so 9 and 5 are tied up together. And looking at where the 4 ball is, you've got to think about getting an angle in that 4 ball to get up and try and move the 5 and the 9. I just missed a jaw there, but that was enough. That was enough to keep it out. I wonder if I could put a link in the chat. Let me just try that. I'll be back in a second. Shh. I'm going to put a link in. Shh. 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 Right, we're back up and running. I'm still recovering from this cold and chest infection I've had, and that was a week ago last Saturday that I caught it, and it's still playing me up. I'll get a drink. So today I've spent a number of hours messing with broadcasting software. This is my XSplit Gamecaster I'm using, and as I say, the only conflict I've found is the fact that the mouse cursor doesn't appear in the game. Now that's nothing to do with the setup in my Gamecaster, because it's exactly the same setup for every other game that I've ever streamed, but there is some conflict in it that prevents me from moving around the table. The cursor just does not appear, but we won't worry about that. We'll just carry on watching the game. Wolfpack in the lead. Albinario, well, he didn't quite get into that. He's well short in the 6 ball, so he's looking for a thin clip and just keep distance. Get the cue ball down by the 9. Well, this is a good shot if it tracks. That's unlucky. Very unlucky. Good effort. Trying to hide behind that 9 ball. Don't anybody ask me what room this is I'm in. I haven't a clue what room it is. There are a number of rooms in the game, just like Virtual Pool 4. You're given a default room again to start with, but other rooms are available. Everything, or every individual product for sale in the store, cues, shafts, ball sets, there's lots of different ball sets, all of those things you buy individually. And it looks as if Albinario is going to scrape through this rack. Easy enough, 8, just a little roll to the rail. In fact, that's what I meant to check. I'll check my little doodle thing works in here. Well, that seems to work. Let's have a look. It seems to be working fine. But see, I can't move the camera at all. Unless I've completely forgotten how to move the camera. Oh, I can zoom in. I can zoom in and out. Oh, I can. It's a it's the right mouse button. That shows you the last time I was actually in Shooter's Pool. Oh dear. And it's only 20 past 8. Usually my brain starts shutting down in an hour's time. Oh dear. Yeah, it's the right mouse. It's that one. That's for zooming in and out, but that's all I can do. And I can't, I wonder if it's, maybe when I downloaded, I think maybe when I downloaded, I had to uninstall the game and reinstall it, and I have a funny feeling that possibly it's reset the settings. Maybe that's what it is. Let me have a wee look. Into the menu. Controls. Key mapping. Alternative controls. We'll try that. And we'll hit save. And see if that makes any difference. No, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Nope, absolutely nothing. All I can do is that. So it definitely isn't me. It's actually, there's something bugged. Something bugged with the streaming software and the game. I don't know why. So it's 2-1 to Albinario. Now it's come up a legal break, so 4 balls, I think, including the cue ball, didn't hit a rail. Now we can see in the middle of the screen below the rack of balls at the top of the HUD, you can see the shot clock counting down. It's now counting down in digits rather than a line, like Virtual Pool 4 and like Shooter's Pool used to be. They've changed that. Could play the reverse bank here in the 1 ball. No, he seemed to think he could cut that, I think. But as I say, the problem is there are a couple of things that or a couple of the features that are not activated in Albinario and Wolfpack's game, and that's the aim restricted or the unrestricted view isn't on, so it means that they're elevated higher than what they're used to, or they have been in all the Virtual Pool games. So their aiming is a lot more difficult in this game, and the shooting assist isn't on either, which means that you've got like a lateral movement in the queue, so the queue doesn't always go through straight, so they're liable to miss more shots in this game. That's certainly what I feel. So when I play it or just practice it, I've usually got the aim restrict off and the shot assist on. Now that's not tracking lines or anything, it's just to make sure that the queue goes through straight, make it a wee bit easier to pot a ball. I think both of those things should be on by default in the game, but you know, I'm not gonna bleat about that in the forum. I'll let them find that out for themselves when a lot of people decide they don't like the game because of that. Well, that's gone a bit higher than Wolfpack would have liked, and now this 5 ball looks tight to the rail, so that means he's got a problem to deal with. Well, he's looking at the 6, unless I'm out of sync here. Has he forgotten about the 5 ball? I think he has. We'll soon know in a minute if it's a foul. But the 5 ball's lying in the bottom rail at my screen. Or is that the 7? That's a bloody 7 ball. That looks like a 5 ball. That's the worst thing about not being able to go around the table and look. That, I mean, on my screen that looks orange. So it does. That's why he potted the 6. Oh dear. Now these shots are really tough to keep them straight. A virtually straight shot to this bottom pocket. And he's played it well, and the weight's pretty good. But there we go. That's how easy it is to miss. So Albinario goes into the lead, 3 racks to 1. A poor one there by Wolfpack. A ball went into that bottom left hand corner, which I've just noticed amazingly has already showed up in the HUD. Instantly shows up in the HUD that the 5 ball's gone. I never noticed that before. In Virtual Pool 4, that happens after the balls have finished rolling. In this game, it seems to happen immediately. Anybody else out there in the chat? That's going to run too far. Had the right idea, trying to use the 2 and the 4 ball as cover. Now this shot by Albinario needs a sort of gentle draw to pot the 1 and to come in behind the 7 and the 8 to play onto the 2. He needs to dig down. Well, he's went the gentle approach and he's got away with it. He was lucky because playing it gentle, that was always the danger, tucking yourself behind that, which now is the 7 ball and not the 5 ball as I thought earlier on. Oh dear. Well, a bit too much oomph in that one. Ball in hand to Wolfpack, so Wolfpack trailing 3 racks to 1. And he'll be looking to try and take this out. Presumably it's a stun shot up past the 4 for the 4 into the same pocket. No, he's just a little roll through it, but there's the danger. The danger is running into the ball. He should have played the little stun. Would have taken that danger out of the equation. Now he's trying to run for cover again. That's a better one. Easy kick shot though for Albinario off that short rail to his left as he looks. He looks as if he's going to kick it from the other end. Got a chance of getting this in though. We'll be happy with that outcome. A kick safe. Aye, Mal. If you notice on the stream, I managed to get my TriDef Smart Cam working in this. I actually have been on all day experimenting with Open Broadcaster, and no, not Open Broadcaster. I was experimenting with that later on, but prior to that, it was XSplit Broadcaster I was messing with, and I cannot, for the life of me, stop the audio coming through my headset. I've tried everything. I spent probably 3 hours trying to stop the audio coming through my headset, because I use my headset all the time in the PC. No sound comes out my speakers, and I messed about for hours to the point that I gave up, and I installed Open Broadcaster, and I've got it up and running. But I wanted to try and get this complete background removal sorted out on my XSplit Gamecast, and I've got that pretty good. It seems to be working fine. But I mean, honest to God, I've been at it since probably 11 o'clock this morning. So the reason we're watching Shooters Pool is there's no 10 ball Scottish doubles tonight, and that's going to be awkward. Albinario, this 9 ball to go 4-1 in front. Nice and simple. Now this time I've made sure that I've checked the absent in the next match. After the first match was over, it put me into the game. When I didn't want to be in the game, I had to bail out. In fact, the game then ended up crashing. So there's still a few crashes happening in this game, so that's another reason why you think it's less likely to be going public, especially if they're getting feedback about these crashes. Good evening, Fluke. I just noticed you there as well, if you're still there. So 4-1 to Albinario. He's looking for revenge from the last match. But Wolfpack's at the table. And now, if this was Virtual Pool 4, I would give you 100 to 1 on that he would run out. This game, it's not quite as clean cut because these guys are struggling a bit for pace as well, plus the fact he's just scratched. Albinario trying to butter Wolfpack up in the chat. A bit of tactical manoeuvres going on there. Ball in hand to Albinario. But it's a bit fiddly to get the touch in this game. It is a delicate thing, which you would certainly get used to if you played it a lot more. Same as any game. But it's a much different touch in this game and feel to whatever you've been used to if you've played Virtual Pool 4 for years, or any of the other Virtual Pool games. This is a toughie, getting on to the 6. Got to spin it, and he's done well. Got the pace right. And he needs to leave that little angle in the 7 just to get the cue ball out for the 8. Well, this match is over. I'm going to say it's over. Well, that is maybe a bit more than he would like, because he's now near the rail. He's just got to feather this along the rail so he doesn't let the cue ball get away. And that's well done. No, there's no career mode, Mal. It's just offline playing with somebody else in the PC. But then again, if you think of how Virtual Pool 4 offline, career mode is, it's probably hardly worth the effort to put that into the game. They should have made a much better effort at doing it in Virtual Pool 4. I had a career going in snooker, and I won the first season, and then when I went to play the next season, the bloody gate, my file was corrupted. So I think that's a bug in it. Well, that's the guys away now. That's the game over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look around. There's probably not many people playing, and I'm going to see if I can get out of this bloody game first. Now it's not letting me. Now it's not letting me quit the game. I can't bring up the menu. Now my cursor's showing. Now the game's finished, but when I hit escape, nothing's happening. That's another bug. Oh dear. Right. Well, this is going to be a short stream if I can't find another match to go in and have a little look at. But what I'm going to have to do in the meantime, guys, is whereabouts is it? I can't see. Oh, I can see it behind my head now, Albie. Thank God you're there. But why is it not? It used to do it when you did escape, did it not? Maybe not. I haven't a clue. It's been that long since I've been in it. Right, guys. Hopefully the stream will come back up. Right, I've just actually started the game so I could say thanks to those that were watching. There are no other games going on in Shooter's Pool. None at all. And I'm just going to bang a couple of balls about. Well, this is so different to get used to. Even the break, I don't generally enjoy the break off in this game either. Let's see. No, I shouldn't be running into balls when I'm breaking off like that, but then again it puts you down into balls, so that worked. See, it's funny how I can actually go around a table when I'm actually playing myself, but yet I can't do it as a viewer. Strange. Right. Well, there is a path back to bulk. Let's try that. I can't bloody see the edge of these balls. I'm just getting too old for this. That's not bad. I'll take that. Did I pot a red? Jesus, don't tell me I potted a red. Yes, I potted a red. That was a fluke. My highest break in Shooter's Pool, I think it was 60 odd. It was actually in a match as well. It wasn't in practice. And believe it or not, that was with the aim restrict on. I think I just got lucky that day. Right, let's see what we can pick out here. That's another thing that annoys me. I need to switch these backgrounds off because all these bits of furniture getting in your way when you're trying to move around. I was hoping one of those reds would go apart for the one behind the pink. Right, I'm going to try and tickle this red in. Tell me when you're bored, guys. I know you're bored already, but you don't have to come out with it straight away, but I might be on my highest break here. You don't know what you're going to miss. Oh, well, there you go. Forget that idea. See, that shot there, that was hit far too hard, and that's just... And I've got the mouse settings turned down. It just seems to be the cue's going through a lot quicker than I want it to go through. And I need to tweak about with these sensitivity settings yet. Nope, that's played across it again. And remember, I'm playing with aim restrict off and straight queuing. So how the hell is the game any easier? I can't pot a ball any better with it on or with it off. No, they're getting through far too quick, those. What have I got the sensitivity at? That's not the one I want to go into. Let's have a look. Player options. Playing assistances. Angle of view, no restriction. Aiming lines off. Compensate shaft squirt on. And straight shooting on. It makes no bloody difference to me. Right, now, where the hell do you adjust the sensitivity? Because I've totally forgotten. Alright, it's in view. View sensitivity. Field of view. I've got it way down at 20, by the way. You can go to 10, and then the table looks like a wee square box. View height. If I get that up high. No, got it low. Show in game roll tips. No, I can't find the sensitivity thing. Ah, that's it. Stroke sensitivity. And bridge length, I've got it. Well, whatever it is. Backswing speed factor. Let me just drop that a notch to there and hit save. I think my voice is beginning to go again. Right, let's try that. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just wondering if there's really 8 people watching this or whether 7 have fallen asleep and I'm the only one. Right, that's me dropped to sensitivity a bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right, well, can't see the green. I can see the blue, so I'm going to try and drop, without scratching, I'm going to try and get down for that red in bulk. Now I hit that far too soft. Oh no, I almost got there. Almost got there. That's not going to go in. The other thing they need to add to this game is individual flags for the UK. I want a Scottish flag instead of a Union Jack. That's just a political thing. Now that red over on the left hand side looks the best bet, if I can just get this to roll through. See, I want to put my head lower when I'm playing a shot in this game, and I just can't get it low enough to sight because I'm half blind anyway. I can't see the centre of the ball. Oh shit! Well, that was never gonna, that was never gonna work. Oh dear. I feel like a complete novice again. Now you see how that ball drops into the pocket in slow motion. That's the one thing, well, something similar to that Virtual Pool 4 doesn't have. Well, that's not going to go. I think my highest break's what, 8? Did I get a red and a black? In fact, I know what I'll do. I'm humiliating myself doing this. Hang on. Well, if anybody's still there, I've decided to do some Chinese 8-ball. Now, for anybody that hasn't seen a Chinese 8-ball table, it's like, I think it's like a 9 or a 10 foot snooker table. Look at the pockets though. They're quite tight, which is what I like about it. So let's see how we do in this. I'm bound to pot a ball or two in this one. So I presume there's no any major difference from Chinese 8-ball to any other 8-ball apart from the fact that it's played on this type of table with pool balls that barely fit into the pocket. So once you've picked your solids or stripes, then off you go. So I've got 3 solids down there, so I'll go for the solids. That will roll through in the 6. I think I've gone too far in the 5. So maybe not. I think I can maybe just hold it here. Now I could try playing for the 1 into the same pocket, or if I go too far I might still be in the 2 into the middle. Don't want to hook myself behind that 12 though. I think I'm okay. Get away from that. That's fine. Right, so I've got the 7 left, the 8 into the middle pocket, the 2 into the middle. So I just need to not hit this too hard and finish in the 2. Now you see, there we go, that spin And draw there has done me. I was expecting that to stun past. Got that all wrong. So now I'm sweating because apart from that 14 ball, I know that 14's going into the middle. I've got to go all out and try and pot this because my imaginary opponent, I'm expecting him to come in and clear up. Let's look at that angle. Oh, all or nothing in this one. I love the auto nominate thing where it chooses a pocket for you. I like that. That's something that in fact, Virtual Pool 4 should have had that for one pocket. Have the little arrow above the table like that, as you see there. Virtual Pool 4's antiquated as far as having to look at a little diagram in the top of the screen to see an arrow going a certain way, and then you get totally disorientated. Not that I play a lot of one pocket, but that's the one thing I complained about straight away. Get something better than that. But well, we've missed a 7 by the country mile. We've left a cue ball right in the middle of the table. I think I might have been able to cut the 2 in if I'd got that there. Let's have a look. No, no chance. Right, so here we go. Imaginary opponents at the table. Table's open. What the hell do I go for first? Do I go for that 14? It's a bit tight, but I think I should. And he's missed that by a mile. Oh dear. That I just cannot get that gentle touch. But I've left it safe though. Right, I'm going to clear this rack and then call it a night. That's what I'm going to do. Right, what one should I go for first? I should go for the 14 because that's in an awkward place, and I'll open up the 8 ball. Oh, that was a foul. Now you believe that my eyes have gone. They have totally gone. Now, is it ball in hand in this game? Aye, it is. Right, got to take the 2 first. I don't think I can avoid that 13 ball. Where can I pot the 2? No, I can't avoid the 13. I'm going to slam into it. Well, this is where you take your chance. And you take a risk. Oh, and the 13's going to snooker me, is it? Oh. Right. 7 ball. And try and find a gap. Have I got there? I think I have. Right. 8 into the middle. Right, guys. That'll do it. Thanks for watching. This was an alternative to 10 ball Scotch doubles. We will call it a night, and we'll thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again sometime.